back to the 2020 Toyota U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Greensboro, North Carolina. We're inside the Greensboro Coliseum, and we just finished the men's short program, and three-time and defending national champion Nathan Chen defended his is off to an amazing start, defending his title with a 114 over a 14-point lead after the short program. An amazing start. All of the men skated very well, followed by Jason Brown, Alex Torgachev after the short program. Special guest with us this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Olympic champion Scott Hamilton. Thank you for joining us.
We're not worthy.
The legend.
Oh my goodness, it's fun to be here with you guys.
Ben Augusto as well, but Scott, what were your thoughts on that men's short program?
You know, there's something about the men's event, and you competed in a few of those, right? So there's something about the anticipation of seeing all of those fireworks combined with somebody just stepping out and having to put it down like that. And with Nathan Chen, man, he's gotten so comfortable with skating at the highest levels in the world constantly. And it's like he goes out to skate anymore, and I'm filled with this anticipation of that I'm going to see something absolutely spectacular, but at the same time, my shoulders are down because I know that there's no chance in the world he's ever going to miss anything. Well, and so it's perfection. I mean, it's absolute perfection.
I happen to be standing right next to Rafael Artuni and his coach and Nathan during the whole process of the short program. And normally, you know what it's like when you're standing in that tunnel, and it's just like you can cut tension with a knife. It's like guys are pacing and all that. With him, it's not. It's not. It was literally like, I'm just going out to practice. He's like, hey, Mike, what's up? I'm like, you're about to go out and skate at Nationals.
Yeah, and that wasn't me.
And Raf the same way. Raf turned to me while Nathan was warming up, and he looked at me and he's just like, he's different than everybody else.
He's different than everybody else.
That's a great
he's different than everybody else because of just the way his demeanor and his approach and the way that his skating is like etched in granite. I mean, the technique is so reliable and is so different. The way that he built his skating over such a long period of time of winning constantly, expecting to win constantly, and not being afraid to raise your game in order to get there. I mean, that triple flip in the beginning was just swish.
It was so good, perfect. It was a quad.
And then triple axel, which gave him fits for all those years, is now so reliable and so stable. And then this is just triple toe, quad toe, triple toe is just like, you don't even think about it. You don't worry about it. There's no sense of like danger at all. And his skating is just, everything about it is just built to last, and built to, like last year I got in so much trouble on social media. On NBC I said, honestly, when Nathan's on his game, he's unbeatable. And so, of course, like what happened to my social media account? Like it blew up with all the, Yuzu fans saying, well, I go, I'm not even going to respond because it speaks for itself, right? And he goes and he wins by worlds by 40-something points. And, it's just, there's no one like Nathan ever. And it's just so fun to watch.
Do you wonder, because he's such a perfectionist, that program looked flawless to us, but I wonder if there are points where he was like, I could have done that, I don't know,
I'm sure.
bracket better.
Absolutely. No, you see golfers, right? You see golfers that shoot 59. And like, how many perfect shots did you hit? 2? It's like that. It's like when you're in that level, in that zone, you can pick, well, I probably could have pulled another couple revolutions out of that spin. I pulled it. And that footwork sequence, I was a little shallow on that edge. That's the world that Nathan Chen lives in. And it's not a world that anyone else does, It's just his world. We just get to help him occupy it.
Right. We just get to enjoy being there to watch him.
It's incredible. It's beyond incredible.
It is, and it's like, we talked about this a little bit earlier, how it's basically like Nathan's standard, and then it's like everybody else. I was kind of joking about it. It's like, Ricky Bobby, and how his motto from his father was, if you ain't first, you last. And it's like he's kind of lived his life that way. Yeah. All he does is get first. He's lost once in the last 3 seasons.
No, he's not going to lose again.
Yeah.
The only one that could beat him is himself, right?
Exactly.
And I don't see that happening anytime soon. We were sitting here watching, for all you at home, that little thing thing in the corner where it shows the leading score and then everybody building their score. Yeah. It's like, Chen, why would you even put that score up there? Because it's unattainable. It's just not going to happen. Right. So put what it would take to be in second. We're competing for second now. That should be the number that's up there.
Speaking of second place, the champion in Greensboro in 2015 was Jason Brown. He started off with a great short program here, skated clean, no quad, but is about 14 points behind Nathan Chen. But interestingly enough, his component score was just a little bit higher than Nathan's, and that's a credit to what we talk about all the time, how he maximizes every single movement. His musicality is great, his spins are great, and he got a standing ovation here as well.
You gotta bring who you are, right? And the smartest way, and Jason is 25 years old. It's not his first rodeo. He's competed at the highest level of worlds, Grand Prix, all those things. It's how do I leverage who I am best in order to score the absolute most points I possibly can. And you see with Nathan, it's a lot done on his technical side, but with Jason, it's immaculate jumping, the perfection of his toe-to-edge landings. It's just extraordinary the way he's able to keep his speed throughout. Everything looks easy, effortless. Again, flow coming in, flow coming out. It's remarkable. And then his posture, his choreography, his flexibility, his ability to handle every note of music, that allows him to build enough points to be within 14 points of the greatest skater in the world. So Jason is awesome.
You can't really see it on TV, but his jumps cover so much space. And when you see it live, it's just beautiful. And I love the way that he's improved his triple axel. I think that going to Brian Orser, and that technique is finally starting to stick. And that triple axel looks so easy, whereas in the past, I'm always like a little bit on the edge of my seat, and my teeth are like, ooh, here comes the triple axel. This time I was like, oh, it looks like it's easy,
And then he hits the step sequence, and my heart soars because he just puts so much passion and love for the edge and the glide, and he's able to, I think he's one of the few that just captures the audience. He grabs everybody by their hearts and kind of pulls them along, and that's where all those ovations come from, and I think that really does, it pulls those points out of the judges on the component side.
Well, I joked about it a little before. I was saying, I really went out on a limb saying that before the skate, that Jason Brown's going to get a standing ovation and skate clean. But it's true. I mean, he does. He has that ability for everybody to just want to get to their feet because his performance level is so high.
And this just in, the sun's going to come up in the morning. It is remarkable, again, how he's built his skating over time and how he just keeps perfecting what he does the best. And if you've ever spent any time with Jason, he's easily the kindest, most relatable, lovable person you'll ever know, and that comes out in your performance. If you can take who you are inside and allow that to come out in your performance, it's genuine, it's totally accessible, and it allows an audience to build a relationship over time and in that moment with the skater that is different than just witnessing great skating.
And another great moment in the men's short program was Andrew Taushev, who scored 97 in his short program. And we talked a little bit about him before on the ice desk, the pre-ice desk, about how he's kind of underachieved, but he has a great skating skill, a great presence and artistry on the ice. But the technical side has kind of let him down. But it didn't let him down tonight. That quad toe that he started with, we saw the replay of that. That was fantastic.
Well, you go into a jump, and there's two ways of doing it. You can force it to happen, or you can let it happen. And I watched this program, and I just saw him let things happen. You practice these things a million times. The muscle memory is there. You know exactly how to do these things. And if you just get out of your own way and allow and I've always seen him skate tense. Like he goes out, and he seems to be a little bit like, oh, I got to make this thing. I got to do this. But this time it was just totally with an open hand, and relaxed and confident. And when he lets things happen, he's got the technique and he's got the ability to just let it go, let it fly. and just enjoy the landings and get into the next thing.
I couldn't agree more, because I see it in his skating with his shoulders. Like when he's tense and his shoulders a little bit, that whole program, his shoulders were dropped and he was relaxed the entire time. I interviewed him right after he got off the ice, and he said, he's like, the biggest shock. He's like, he goes, I love skating great. It was an amazing moment on the ice, the standing ovation. He goes, I just couldn't believe the score. He's like, I couldn't believe that's what I got.
Yeah.
And he was, you see people speechless after they perform, but he literally was. He was like, I just can't believe that just happened. I can't. That was fantastic. It was so great to see that youth and that energy and that exuberance for the performance.
Once in a while, I drop in to say hi at the rink, and I see him working really hard, especially on the axle, which has let him down so many times. And I see him pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, Andrew, you have to pull in to make it happen. Like, you gotta rotate. And to see him do it here so perfectly, and for him to hit that rocker and then the toe pick, that's when you know that's your butter. And to see him finally do it, I just want to go hug him and be like, Andrew, you did it. And I think because I used to train with him, there's a little part of me who's like, I used to train with him, and I'm proud of him. And I think he has so much to be proud of himself, and that's what you want to do. You want to come to nationals, lay it down, and go home happy.
And also a really strong performance from the world bronze medalist Vincent Zhou, who coming into this competition that we talked about how he was trying to balance school and all that, and he's only back on the ice for the last 4 weeks. He's only been on the ice for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And we saw a little bit of shakiness in his practices, and it's gotten better and better and better. This morning, beautiful quad sows, and then it showed up in the performance today. Hit all of his elements.
I think he set himself up for that, though. He was like, I might be great, I might not, but we know Vincent. He's an Olympian. We know he's mentally strong and that he's capable of putting it down. Yes, it was a little bit shaky, but I think that with how many months he's been off the ice, what is this? I'm jealous that he could just pull this out.
I feel like he totally slow played us. He poker faced us.
Yes.
He said he was coming out to skate, and he goes, I don't know. He goes, I may fall 6 times. I hope fall 6 times. You just got a 94 in the short
he did
program.
A squad, triple axel, triple, easy.
It's just amazing that the first and third ranked skaters in the world are both in Ivy League schools running full schedules.
Yeah.
And how do you balance that and then coming out and skating at this level at a national championship? And with Vincent, it's like his technique is really solid.
Right.
Axel, I worry, again, that forward takeoff. If that forward takeoff,
toe.
if you don't hit it just right, anything can happen. And that was probably the weakest jump in that performance of all of them. But, he skated great. He was vertical, stayed vertical throughout. I love the way he rotates his jumps. He's tall and he stands tight and everything is really efficient. And again, the flow coming out, I was really blown away. Again, everything I read coming in, all the research, all the interviews are like, I'm going to fall 6 times.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've fallen 6 times. It's not fun. But, coming in with that attitude of just sort of going, okay, white flag.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let it rip. I'm not going to force the issue. And again, if you just let your body know what it knows how to do already and that you've practiced 1,000 times, good things are probably going to happen.
Yep.
And his program is really high energy. I mean, a lot of them are very lyrical, and his is high energy, is dancing, bouncing around the whole time. And so for not being on the ice very much, it's hard to be in shape for that. So, I mean, an extra kudos, I think, to him for being able to deliver the jumps with all that energetic choreography performance as well.
Again, he's a freshman in college. I mean, sure, he's bouncing around and dancing a little bit on the weekends, So if anything, he's in shape to do that.
He might be trying to recover, though. I mean, and one thing we know, he's always struggled with injuries on and off, and so I think maybe this is not so out of his comfort zone of being off the ice, being on the ice, being off the ice, unfortunately. But man, he really pulled it out today.
It was great to see such high-level skating all the way through. It was really good today. I was really impressed.
And also somebody with high energy in their performance was Tomoki Hiwatashi, who was towards the end of the competition, the second last skater to skate, and his energy, he brought it. And he was, last year was 4th at the national championships, and the Grand Prix season was not good for him. And so to watch him be the absolute best, I've never seen him skate better. Not only the jumps, but the energy in that program was fantastic. I mean, he sometimes gets sideways on the air of these jumps and ejects his feet. None of them here. I mean, arms, legs, everything right over his feet. And then he was able to sell the program.
Well, it was, I mean, of all of them, this was the one that was like so physically demanding. You know, it was just go, go, go. He's pulling everything he can. You know, and again, he wasn't going toe edge. He wasn't making his life easy. He was hanging on to some of those landings. And you know that when you lose speed at in the landing of jumps, over time, you're going to start getting a little tired. You're going to be fighting throughout the choreography. And what I saw in that performance was just pure intensity, really joyful. He just felt the music. He was, you know, and again, the excitement of watching it build as maybe he didn't expect to hit everything because it's been a tough year. And he's like, oh, wow,
I
great.
landed another one.
I'm getting more excited. Here we go. So it was really fun to see him just throw down a short program. And again, you know, short program is so key to any competition because without a clean program, you could take yourself out of the rest and you're digging a hole for yourself for the long. So it was good to see all the men really, especially the top men, skate as well as they could.
So for the long program, which they skate that tomorrow, Nathan obviously has a comfortable lead. I spoke to him just afterward. He said he's not sure. He goes 3, maybe 4, depending on how he feels tonight, how he recovers. But, you know, he did 5 at the Grand Prix final. And he said, I don't want to back too far off of that because I want to kind of keep building to Worlds. But, you know, I also don't want to go out there and beat myself up too much. So he's got a comfortable lead right now. Jason Brown sitting in second place. What do you think? You think he's going to do the quad? Do you think he's not going to do the quad? Do you want him to? We talked about that before. I feel I don't want him to. Go out there, skate clean. And I said for years, Jason needs to do a quad. He needs to do a quad. But now I'm almost feeling like I love his performances without it.
Yeah,
this is another example.
You know, I want him to, right?
Yeah, but I want him to do 5 quads. I want him to, you know, but you know, it just comes. But how much does it change the intent of the program when you've got a, like, you know, and what is the percentage of completion, the percentage of, and it just, you want to go out and skate comfortable. You want to go out and know that you can do everything that you're planning on doing. And if you have an element that is sort of, you know, betraying you on a consistent level, sometimes that can take away from the intent and the quality. Look what Adam Rippon did, you know, going into the last, you know, Olympic season. He just said, you know what, I can do it, but, you know, here's the difference, and I'd rather go out and skate clean, and look what happened.
Exactly.
There's something about skating clean that allows the audience to relax and just invest in the program, and allows the skater to just enjoy from the very note of music to the last note of music. That to me is what skating is all about.
I agree.
I don't think we'll see a quad from Jason, but if we were the puppeteers and we would copy and paste it right in there for him, and then we'd see a little bit of a point jump, but that's just us, right? I think we're expecting him to do a clean performance that we know what he can do and that we know he's going to go out there and do, and we're going to just drool a little bit over his edges.
But here's a clean performance that he can do that no one else can do.
Exactly.
Those intangibles are so fun to watch.
That's it. That's the intangibles, and that's a quality that you can really leverage, right?
So we had a fantastic men's short program. We also have a full schedule still on slate. The pairs are up next, and then the ice dance will be crowning the national champion in both of those disciplines still to come. And remember, come back here at the ice desk. We'll be here before the pairs, we'll be here after the pairs, and then also again after the dance this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. A great short program from right here in Greensboro Coliseum at the 2020 Toyota U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Thank you to the 4 of you guys. Had a fantastic time. Please join us again, Scott, will you?
Oh, please. Loved it.
All right.
It's fun.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you soon.